Okay, that might explain something. Apparently my microphone was somehow disabled. I'm not sure why. So yeah, okay. Hi everyone. Sorry for the silence. I wasn't, I was talking to myself. Apparently. So, yes, I was saying, Toad, the quality thing is, like, scientifically proven to increase your stream viewership by about 500%. You can tell because, Tudos' stream always has the word quality in it, and he gets a lot more viewers than me. I have no health. Oh my gosh, just got run over by a curling ball. Marcus is in the same city as you? Dude, nice. Also, with regard to the practice thing, it's all... Like, building a muscle memory is all about repetition. You're supposed to be, like, repeating things as much as you can so that everything is second nature that you're doing. And just because you do a repetitive movement doesn't mean that it's any less useful. Oh, there was a guy there. Okay. I mean, if I put quality GooTuber and started playing GooTuber, it... Like, there's no such thing as quality... Oh shit, I'm dead. Yeah. Probably should have rushed that, but I had no turf there, so... What is even happening in this game? Why is nobody fucking pushing? Oh my... Okay, so they just blew like 20 specials on that. What?! Let's go team! Oh shit. How do people not fucking know that you can die to Inkjet Exhaust? It's literally like month 2. Oh shit. I get the feeling that these guys don't really understand Remake that well. There's a lot of stalling going on. Holy shit, can I not miss? Got one down, and there's one guy out of position. Should be able to move this. Nice, okay, we should be able to win this. Nice. Might be good though. Alright, they're gonna... yeah, they're going... where are they going with it? They could have fucking won that so easily, but the guy just stood in mid and kept... okay. Alright then. Wow, that's a lot of points. That's like a quarter of a bar for that. So, yeah, as I was saying at the start of the stream, to myself, with this, with solo queue, I've only really been able to play Rainmaker, because every time I sit down to play, it's like, it's only Rainmaker. There's no fucking... like, I'm still at S+1 on zones, not because I keep losing, even though it's probably my worst mode, but just because I can't... I'm never able to get on and play when Splat Zones is in rotation. So... and I've played a little bit of tower control as well. I think I've played like 1 game total on more ATC. It's it's kind of bad. But yeah, so this has been interesting. Incidentally, I'm playing Tanatech because I don't really know what weapon I want to play at the moment. There's nothing that's really caught my eye. More ATC's fine. It's, my main problem with tower control in general, but it would be particularly bad on Moray, is that I don't push up enough. So, like, it's fine in Rainmaker, like, the playstyle I use in Rainmaker is very similar. But the problem is that on tower control you need to be a bit more aggressive, you need to be a bit more proactive, whereas with Rainmaker, like, if I'm the guy who's in the back, I just pick up the Rainmaker when we get something started. Okay, he missed. I guess? Okay, I fucked up that time. Wow, we wiped again. Oh my. Ouch. Okay. Oh my. This is not going well. Okay, 36 is still winnable, but this is very awkward. But it doesn't seem as though people understand how Splatoon works. There's a lot of feeding going on. Anyway, we'll see how we do. I think the last shot off. I'm actually really tempted to start running special power on this. Like, you can tell that this is a sort of lower ranked room because what's going on when the Rainmaker's in that kind of position that it was for about a minute or so is people are like standing behind it and trying to stop it that way. But the way you stop pushes in this game is by sandwiching whatever you're trying to push, rather than defend from, rather than going in like behind it. This is why a lot of inexperienced teams lose sort of gradually on tower control, like, and then one person gets a flank off and then suddenly it's all over. Yeah, see, like, we've got people going in mid, and that shouldn't be happening. Like, hello? Okay, well, I'm fucking dead, so... Oh, hey, missile. I mean, we have Imperious and Dually Scorches, there's no reason why we can't outpaint a fucking Lunar and Slosher. Base at least. Like, that's... Doesn't seem to be any respect for enemy ink on this team. Like, I'm not just trying to blame the team, but it is definitely something that's hard to work with. It's like, so when I'm playing Rainmaker in solo queue, what I'm usually waiting for is like a 4v3 situation. But in this game, it always felt as though, like, there were occasions where it was like 4v2 or whatever, but it seemed to just be like, you know, oh no, half our team's down again, you know. So yeah, it feels as though it was a little bit unwinnable. It wasn't unwinnable by any means, but it was like, I had to be a lot better of a player in order to stop that from happening. Also, I need to scrub. So what I've been doing to get chunks is just grabbing like some 1-star stuff. So you can, like, I got 2 mains of swim speed and like a main of subsaver, and I'm just leveling that up. And yeah, like, you can always tell when your team's a little bit outmatched, just based on things like that, where, you know, we have a turf advantage, but we never actually push that turf advantage, you know, like, a lot of games, especially in Japanese solo queue, where people are a bit less stupid, there's a lot of, like, you definitely get the feeling that, like, say you get pushed in early. So say, like, it was the same situation where, like, they pushed at 36 or something, but we have the team comp that paints better. Say you have that kind of situation going on, it's usually, like, you can usually tell, okay, we have the better comp, so we will eventually be able to push, and, like, everyone seems to understand that, and everyone sort of plays it carefully, and then at some point, the map opens up and you can run the Rainmaker. Like, that's how I'm consistently winning, is by, like, you know, if we have that kind of advantage, and we generally do because I'm playing Tenatech, so, like, by default I'm gonna get, like, I contribute a lot of painting to the team. What tends to happen is, yeah, like, we might get pushed in early because maybe people don't understand that you're supposed to, like, go for the fast pop and all that sort of thing. But then, over the course of the game, you find more and more situations where you have an advantage that you can start pushing in, so. Whereas in that game, it actually did feel like everyone was just going in and feeding. So, like, I don't think I died that much. I did when I grabbed the Rainmaker and started trying to push, but... Yeah, so like this is a comp where we've got like 4 inkjets, so if we ever get the advantage, we're probably going to just fucking destroy everything. Which is basically what's about to happen right now, because it's... I didn't mean to fall quite that far behind. Oh shit. I got a buddy. Yo, they fucking... they wrapped around and the guy just pushed. That's nice. Alright. But like, that's the sort of situation we're going to be able to replicate over the course of the game. We didn't have inkjets that time, but if we do, in a future push, it's going to be even harder for them to stop it. Oh. I thought that was a T-Tech, so I was, like, trying to corner him, but... Oh, no! Oh, boy. Okay, good. Wasn't quite keeping proper eye on the ink tank there. Oh, that's awkward. Okay, well the goal's done and we should be able to push this a bit further. Oh, damn. Just gonna shot this guy. Oh boy. Ugh. I hate that. Fucking trying to shoot downward and I just paint the wall instead of my feet. So this is mine to take. far ahead of the Rainmaker right now. Seeing chest being a problem. Damn, dude. Oh, we should have fucking won that. Can I guess how good S+ solo queue is? Judging by how well players in League play, and like checking their ranks afterwards, the equivalent of getting S+ in NA is getting A- in... Sorry, yeah, A- in Japan. So basically, if you're playing against someone who is really bad in like S+, chances are they're probably about A- level in Japan. It's also about 500 points of difference in League as well. So like, teams that are sort of 1800-ish in Japan are about as good as 2300 teams in NA and EU. Just judging by like, you know, how well teams that I'm on tend to do. Where like it's the same players, but like obviously different regions. Maybe I'm hosting, maybe someone else is hosting. So yeah, it's basically NA and EU are really, really far behind because of the solo queue problem. Actually, 500 might be a bit of a stretch. It's more like... It's probably more like 300... It's probably more like 300 for like... the lower end of the scale, and then about 500 for the upper end. So it's averages about 400. Oh, that's awkward. I actually thought he was going to take it the normal way. Nice. That's what I was watching for. Oh wow, nice. Oh! Holy shit, there's a guy. Oh, we lose, okay. Well, I mean... yeah, that's... yeah. Can't do much about that. Yeah, like, when I play against European and American players, I'm just sort of, like... It actually feels like I could 1v4. I'm not saying that to brag, I'm saying that because NA and EU are really bad at the game because of how bad solo queue is. Like, fucking, like, I'm not meaning to trash talk Fuzzy by saying this, but, like, he posted a tweet the other day, earlier today, I think, saying, like, oh, if you want to get better, one of the things you can do is, like, start using the right trigger more than the left trigger. And I'm like, no, you don't do that. Like, yes, there are situations when you do, like, you have to be painting with a 10 attack or whatever, but you don't do that. You have to fucking shark in this game against decent players because, like, if you keep trying to take fucking 1v1s where they know exactly where you are, you're gonna get your shit pushed in. Like... And, like, it's easy to see why he says that you can do that. It's because, like, you watch G7 and, like, he's not getting punished for swimming up to a charger and missing, like, 20 shots. You know, like, he should be getting fucking destroyed 3v1 for doing that, but instead, he just sort of survives. Like, I think what he's mainly saying is, like, you don't just sit in a puddle of ink for, like, 30 seconds. That's also, that's as stupid as, like... You know, that's equally stupid, you know, it's not... I can go this way just because... Nope. Ugh. I probably should have turned around and shot that guy. No, I'm not gonna do a diss track. I'm just saying that, like, what he says is a bit of a general... Oh my gosh. I was looking at chat and I didn't see the inkjet in my face. What I'm saying about, like, about that is not that he's a bad player or anything, it's just that it's one of those things that's a generalization that doesn't apply to most situations. Certainly not against good players. So, like, right now we need to get some turf control down, so I'm painting more than sharking. But at the same time, like, I also need to kill this guy. Which, unfortunately, someone else got to the... Oh, holy shit, this guy there. Holy shit, I can't move. Seriously, Roller? I had no turf, so... Oh, no ink, rather. I don't know why I'm so bad at fucking managing my ink right now. Like, I have a fucking 10 attack, how hard can it be? Oh, there's another guy there. Oh boy. That's one way to win. That was a bit of a hero splat bomb. I saw the guy die, so I was like, yeah, okay, they're going to be pushing that way. So, oh shit. Speaking of which, I need to not be... Oh boy. Oh my gosh, that's my fault. All the fucking hero smart bombs, dude. Nice. What was the reason you can't use vertical axis on your sticks while gyroing? Is because I believe they designed the gyro basically so that your vertical center doesn't get screwed up. In when you're holding your controller for like gyro controls, the problem with allowing the stick to move it vertically is that depending on which angle you hold the controller at, how you move your wrists is also going to change. So if they made it so that the sticks adjust at your vertical height, you probably wouldn't use them for verticals anyway, because like moving the controller up and down is really, really quick and easy, whereas moving it side to side is a little bit harder. That's why you have the horizontal stick, right? So like, if you go into the firing range and set your vertical axis to, like, the controller pointing upwards, and, like, try to turn the controller like that, and then change it to, like, your default, and then change it to pointing downwards, you'll see what I mean. So if they allowed the stick to change your vertical orientation, then it would just cause more trouble than it's worth. Whereas the horizontal, it doesn't matter, because you don't really care about your horizontal orientation, because the whole point of the gyro is to, like, let you aim like that. What's up, Morka? Alright, let's see if we can get a bit more of a streak going this time. Okay, we got a heavy. That was a fast pop. Okay, we limited that push pretty well, considering. Where is everyone? Oh, the input lag's a bit overblown. It does exist, but it's something you can't get used to. In the test fire, it was actually really badly tough. Holy shit, guys, please move forward. We have a tri-slosher? Hello? Could have fucking fooled me. Oh, it's awkward. Wait, why is that guy... What? Hello? I'm very confused right now. Yeah, that's what I was trying to shark over there, but fucking dualies came out. I probably shouldn't have gone after the dualies, should have just let the guy die. Yeah, that was just a really awkward game. It didn't seem like... Like, we should have had the toughing advantage there, because they had a pro and a blaster and we only had a tri-slasher, but I guess that didn't happen. Am I planning on getting any other games for the Switch? Not at this point, no. Is the Brawler top tier? I wouldn't say top, it's definitely good. It's gonna take some time, though. No, Brawler's fine. Brawler has actually got quite a lot of uses to it, it's just... they only really become apparent in like a proper team setting where you can use it as bait and all that sort of thing. Also, I was playing way too defensively that game, partly because I felt as though I was the only person who was playing defensively, because like the heavy didn't seem to be pushing up at all. But yeah. Am I at a significant disadvantage? I mean, sure, I guess, but... like, the main disadvantage I have is that I don't have bomb defense, which I probably should be leveling up 1-star bomb defense or something. But, at the same time, it's like... I kind of need to get used to playing without those things so that I can, like, learn how to avoid things like inkjets and whatnot, not die to them. Okay, we're gonna have trouble turfing, so. Oh, really? Oh! Okay, we aren't in position to keep that going, so... That's it. What's up, Yosha? he chose poorly. I think I overthought that last inkjet a little bit there, because I was trying to shoot him, like, I was shooting the same place over and over because, like, I was expecting him to just go back and forth, so I'd just hit him half the time. But then he just stayed in the same place on the other side. So, you know, oops. Anyway... Oh yeah, Tenatech being popular in Japan, it's, Oh, look, sorry, I missed that question about the best dualies at the moment. Best dualies, I think, at the moment are Imperious, and, like, with a special charge build, and then followed by Dapples. Dapples are extremely strong with, especially on Rainmaker, where you run, like, Object Shredder and just pop the Rainmaker's shield so quickly. But yeah, so Tenatech, like, I feel like it's kind of falling off in the West, but in Japan, it's just like, unless you use Imperious, you're basically using Tenatech a lot of the time. Because Inkjet is so strong, and Splat Bombs are so strong, that it doesn't matter if the Imperious are technically a better, like, Inkjet builder, because the Tenatech just does so much with its kit. Like, it can basically, you know, you can throw bombs to stall out pushes, you can use Inkjet to instantly pop a Rainmaker, you know, you can use the main weapon itself, outranges a lot of things, so like the Octobrush, the Custom Blaster, etc. So it just makes a lot of sense to use Tenatech at the moment. Okay, there's Umbrella then. He fucked up. Holy shit, what's that A-leader? Oh shit. And... okay. Oh shit. I should have paid more attention to the tree. I was... oh my gosh, Sploosh, what are you doing? Yes, Object Shredder works against Brella shields. Have there been any big Japanese tournaments? I don't know. I haven't been keeping track of that. There probably have been, though. Drinks seem to work really well with basically anything. So... if they don't work versus shields, that would be very strange. I am sort of assuming they do, but, like, considering that Object Shredder works against basically everything that isn't, like, an Inkling. Like, it works against armor, it works against walls, it works against Rainmaker shields, like, it works against basically everything. I'm pretty sure it even works against sponges. So, like, if it doesn't work against the Brella shield, that would not make much sense. Are Inkmines good? I would say no. I still think that they're kind of the sub that they give to weapons that are a bit too strong. And at the same time, like, they gave Inkmine Stingray to a Dynamo, like... Interesting. It might be, yeah, that's kind of strange if it doesn't work against Brella shields. Like I said, I didn't actually test it myself, so, like, I was sort of assuming. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Are Inkmines... so, about Inkmines, yeah, like I was saying, they're kind of a nerf to good kits, at least they were in the last game. They work on some weapons, so they work on, for example, Dynamo, because, like, you might do, you know, 65 damage to something, and then it walks over an Inkmine, and, like, you can kill it like that instead of committing a full second swing. Another thing is, like, with the Rapid, it's the same deal. So it's on a lot of weapons that tend to deal a significant amount of damage, but not necessarily kill. So Rapid can do, like, 35 damage with each indirect. So with an Inkmine, that makes it a 2-shot kill, or a direct, it makes it a 1-shot kill. With Dynamo, same deal. Like, a lot of the time you'll get, you know, 80 to 90 damage on someone, so an Inkmine to start that off would probably kill them, and yeah, that sort of thing. Oh my gosh. Probably should have protected my... I kind of blanked and forgot that I'd ink-jetted from a dumb spot instead of a sort of backline spot. Just now. The thing with Inkmines is that they're designed that way so you can't just Inkmine your feet and instantly kill things. Because in the last game, Inkmines did lethal damage, but they also took a while to activate, so you couldn't just put one down at your feet and kill things like that. You had to actually, like, put one down and then hope they stood on it, and then even if they did, it took a long time for it to activate, so quite often it wouldn't get the kill anyway. Dude, holy shit, how is he not dead? Whereas now, like, you put it down, and if someone walks on it, they take the damage. And, like, you know, you can obviously mark people with them as well. So, there's a lot of bonuses for running them. Oh, Rainmaker was there, apparently. Wait, he didn't die from that? I fucking directed him, and he was standing right next to the... Oh, okay, well, he's dead from that. Ink mines do 35 damage. Nice ink jet. Holy shit, he was under me. That should never have happened, but at the same time, like, that's the sort of thing Dallas can do. So. Okay, well, I killed the guy at least. Oh, no, fuck, I got ink on my feet. Whoa, what? Hello? Fucking game just froze right as I was trying to shoot that guy? Hello? Oh my gosh, it's like... Okay, if we fucking lost because I couldn't shoot that guy who was coming up behind me, because my game just fucking hanged the fucking... Like, what? Hello? That is not... This is really not cool. Wait, did he see? Okay then. He was standing on a splat bomb with two people shooting at him and somehow he got the double? Oh, my camera's all over the place because I'm, like, making it move all over the place. Swim speed didn't get nerfed in this game. What happened was they increased the base swim speed and they also... Oh, actually did they? I don't know. They made it so that each weapon has like a mobility class. Kind of like in the last game where the Dynamo, E-Leader, and Hydra couldn't move very quickly. They also made it so that some weapons like the Junior, Splush, fucking, what's it, Dapples, Carbon, etc. also swam quicker. So... swim speed didn't get nerfed. What happened was they shuffled weapons around so that the swim speed now has more effect on certain weapons than others. As for the secret to sturdy movement, the secret is just, like, you practice. You go into the firing range and you practice. Me personally, I didn't actually, like, in spite of the fact that I was really involved in the Splatoon 1 scene, I never actually played it that much. Like, I played it a fair bit for the first couple of months, but then I, like, basically stopped. And when I was super, super active in the early days of Splatoon 1, I actually had that kind of motion with my E-Leader where I would be able to just sort of move really succinctly and it would look really smooth. I don't really have that anymore because I haven't played for so long that I'm still kind of shaky with the motion controls. Dude, I'm actually fucking salty about that. Like, I turned to shoot that guy, like, I turned and pulled the trigger, and the game froze for long enough that I just... it didn't... nothing happened. That fucking annoys me. Like, it might have been because I died to the Firefin, but... the fact that that actually cost us the game is... obnoxious. Okay, good, the Blaster isn't on my team. Okay then. Oh, he shot me. Nice. You should do better than that, my dude. Oh, wow. Okay. Everyone just died and the Rainmaker was the last guy left. Ah, fuck me. Wait, are we losing? No, okay. That's a negative. Oh my gosh, Gal, no! Don't you be doing that. The guy just waited on the fucking wall. Well, that's fucking awkward. Gosh. Yeah, we tried to force that. Okay. We can win this. And what? You've got to be kidding me, brother. What are you doing? That was a doozy. Creator, the dynamo is actually pretty decent. It's just it takes a long time to get good with, I think. The reason, yeah, that blaster never used his splashdown. He didn't last time when he was on my team either. Anyway. Alright, I was concentrating pretty hard that game, so I need to actually scroll up and see all these things. Okay, so Tri-Slosher nerf. I don't know, well, I'm assuming it's going to be nerfed, and the way I'm assuming they, well, not assuming, the way I'm expecting they're going to do it, because it sort of fits with the way they nerf things, is I think what they're going to do is either lower the base damage, so that it does like 55 or something instead of 62, or they're going to make it so that the fall-off kicks in sooner, and the, all of the, like, so that it doesn't two-shot, or they're going to make it so that the, sort of outer parts of the flick only do enough damage to two-shot as part of a combo with a main slosh. So, like, the middle part would still do 62, but then the outer part would do, like, 38. Those are the sort of options I'm expecting. One or more of those would probably be fine for the Tri-Slosher. Because, yeah, the main thing is right now that even though it's not that... It's not hard to deal with unless you're dealing with a Tri-Slosher who can burst combo. And by that I mean, like, actually getting the direct burst. And once there's a if there's a Tri-Slosher in your game who's actually hitting burst combos, that is where shit gets fucking stupid. So, like, the other main thing is just making it so that it's not a brain-dead simple weapon. Like, doing kind of what they did against the Lunar Blaster before. Okay, there was also a question about when to use Inkjet. Inkjet is especially powerful when the enemy team is sort of on the back foot, right? So what you'll see me doing a lot of the time is using the Inkjet as a way to establish more control of the map, rather than trying to use it to get out of my base. Because if I use it to get out of if I use it defensively, like to get things out of the oh shit. Yeah, I'm fucking dead. If I use it defensively, now the problem is that I can, like, the enemy team has plenty of places to hide, like, because they just control more of the map and because it's all painted. Oh boy. Okay, well, shit died. So yeah, like, pressing an advantage with the Inkjet is the main way to use it at the moment. Like, obviously you can use it defensively if you need to. Like, it's good for clutching Rainmaker shots, but, clutching shots on Rainmaker. Can't use that. Oh shit. Nice. As for the regular 10 attack, as the 10 attack over the regular splatter shot, regular splatter shot's actually fine. I think Object Shredder splatter shot is really strong, especially if they make it so that armor doesn't take the benefit of bomb defense, which it really shouldn't. Like, that is stupid. That's part of why bomb defense is so good. So if they do that, if they change it so that bomb defense stops working on armor, then the regular splatter shot is actually quite good. And the reason is because burst bombs with Object Shredder are amazing for dealing with armor. As for... the dynamo. Okay, so the most effective use of the dynamo that I've seen so far is as like a kind of sharking weapon, where you have... it has a very long range one-shot kill. Like, you can definitely... And it's sort of like... You can use it kind of like a Flings or Roller, where you have like long-range flicks that do a bit of chip damage and sometimes kill things. But you can also use it to like just fling a ton of ink at an enemy team that's using like armor, for example, and just use Object Shredder and take out like the entire team's armor if they're pushing as a group. And just using Dynamo and like vertical flicking on someone who is like out of position or whatever is really, really effective, and you can move really fast with it because of that. So, but yeah, the Dynamo is definitely not bad. It's like using a CRB, except the wind-up is a lot longer, and instead of having to direct hit, you have to like instead of having to align both your vertical and horizontal axis, you only need to align your horizontal. As for Western players' movement, I think it's largely that people don't get punished for having bad movement in solo queue. Like, it's really easy to get into the habit of just holding forward and trigger in solo, because what tends to happen is if you get the advantage on someone and like they have to fight back, they aren't going to be able to like escape and start getting shots on you or anything. It's just not going to happen. Whereas in Japanese solo queue, what you'll probably notice, perhaps not quite so much now because I'm in sort of the dead zone of solo where like there's basically nobody on, certainly no like top players. Then again, this is a 2100 lobby, let's see. The main problem, like, or the main thing in Japanese lobbies is that if you like fuck up your movement, you get fucking destroyed. Like, you have to have really strong movement in order to not just get 2-shot or 3-shot by everything. Particularly snipers, because like snipers will just predict the hell out of you. And... Oh boy. 96 is just hard. It's the same thing as in the previous game, where because of its inaccuracy, that just means that you have to be that much better with it. Like, it's hard to use because the inaccuracy means that if you miss a shot, it's a big deal. Whereas, like, with a Dual Scorcher, for example, it has the same accuracy as the... Actually, no, Dual Scorcher's the accurate one. I think the Splatoon 1 Pro had, like, only slightly better accurate... Oh, shit, that's fucking not flash, I think it only had slightly less accuracy than, like, a Pro, because of the way the Pro's accuracy model worked. I won't go into it. But, the short version is that because of the way it worked... Oh shit, I thought that was a T-Tech. Because of the way it worked, you had to have better accuracy in order to use it. Which is why someone like Dude was good with it, because like Dude had good accuracy, so he'd basically just abuse that, and like the RNG wouldn't be in his favor, it's just that he wouldn't miss on his own failing, it would only be because of RNG, so that's... Oh, holy shit. Oh, he fucked up. Oh yeah, and the other thing is that at the moment the 96's range isn't actually good enough to be called an advantage. Oh shit. Good job, team! Oh shit. Probably should have healed, because there was no way they were going to get to me in time. I just wanted to watch that happen. All this scrubbing is eating into my money. It's funny because I keep telling people the Octobrush is fucking super easy to deal with when you're a Tenatech, and I just kept dying to it. Usually in the same way, I'd be like, I'd just expect that it was a fucking Tenatech or something, and I'd be like, oh, I can just circle strafe this guy, and then, oh no, it's a brush. Like, that one death on the, like, the main was just silly. Like, he was in a tiny pixel of their ink, and all I need to do was just sit back and shoot him, because there was literally nowhere else he could go, and then I just walked into his brush. Oh, hey, it's this guy again. Of course, he's the guy who doesn't have a sparkle in his weapon. Yeah, we weren't winning that. No! Damn it. He went on top of me and fucking... And that guy's got a thing that actually shoots bullets. Am I planning to play tournaments? Yeah, I played in the tournament like 2 days ago, actually. Got third. Which, considering that Imperious literally has not practiced, that's pretty decent. Okay then. That guy fucking... That's the sort of thing that I'm talking about with inkjets. Is like... Japanese inkjet users are just insane. They will fucking direct you and there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, that fucking curling one. Oh! And, yeah, no bomb defense kills anymore. Did I win $1,000 for free? Unfortunately, no, it wasn't a major. Damn it. Fuck. Couldn't get it in time. Oh gosh, that charger. Okay, yeah, We weren't able to push because we had a charger in our team, but I didn't realize it was quite that bad. Holy shit, it's zones. Sup, 0-0? I kind of feel like... What do we got? Only 1-star bomb defense on the shirt. It's 2-star, it's 2-star. That's Skull. That's Smash Mount. I guess I could use Takaroka. Because special charge is pretty important in this metagame as well. Yeah, I might do this actually. Yeah, it's way too difficult to deal with like inkjets and whatnot if you don't have any bomb defense. Like if they shoot you like once, you just die. Zones on Mori and Muscle Forge. Okay, these are my two worst maps at the moment. So, I do need to figure out Muscle Forge. My main problem on Muscle Forge has been that when I'm, like... I'm not affecting the game's outcome, is the problem. Like, if we're doing well, then I do well. If we're not doing well, then I don't contribute to the game. Occasionally, like, I'll inkjet clutch and, like, kill things on the zone, but I don't know how to actually approach middle. I've tried going on the sides and all that, but the problem is that going into the sides, like, onto the lockers and all that, it just doesn't seem to have any kind of effect in zones. It does on, like, Rainmaker and whatnot, where you can get a real fast push going, but... yeah, like, I just don't know at this point. So I need to figure it out. Bomb defense affects everything that isn't a main weapon. You take damage from an inkjet, it is reduced by bomb defense. You take damage from a tenor missile, it's reduced by bomb defense. So, yeah. Oh shit. What happened? Moving its charges, the main thing to remember if you're dealing with charges is to just make the shot awkward. You don't need to be completely shielded. You just need to make it so that where they're shooting from, they have to, like, do something special in order to hit you, like, maybe hit a pixel shot, or, like, maybe they have to jump shot, or maybe they have to, like, you know, there's always... Okay. I fucked that up. And then I died to an Octobrush because I missed. Wait, I don't have stealth jump on. Oops! My bad, teammate. I did a dumb thing. Oh. Well, that's a very productive jump. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay, that was me being bad. Tips for inspiring charger main? Okay, the only way charges are viable in this game is if you are actually a god with them. So... have lofty aspirations. Lofty aspirations. I figure that trade's fine. Nice. Oh, I think I was jumped earlier. Yeah, I did. Oh my gosh, this is... Fuck! I just sort of got lazy because I was like, oh, it's a Rapid Blast, so he can't kill me, but then I fucked up. That's fine. Charges that are good in NA and JP. Pion? I don't think he streams though. He's Japanese. In terms of streamers who are good, nobody's coming to mind right now. I don't know how good Nekara is anymore. I don't know how good Wakaroon is anymore. Yeah, short version is, I don't know. There quite simply are no... Like, there's no good Western charges. Aside from maybe Naz, and I don't think he streams. And I'm pretty sure there's, like... only a handful of good Japanese charges. Like, you'll see a fair few that are, like, doing okay in, like, solo queue, but problem with charges right now is that they just don't do anything if they aren't slaying everyone on the map. Like, they put you at such a disadvantage, so... Someone from Greece, I'm afraid not. Power is really good, he has the right playstyle for charges, so I guess if you watch Power, you'll probably learn a lot of good things from him, but like, you need to be able to hit basically every shot. Right? Not, you know, not 75%, not 60%, not 80%, basically every shot. So in the high 90s. And that is both from, like, being in a, like if you're in a position where the shots are easy, you can't be missing them at all. If you're in a position where the shots are difficult, then, like, you need to be able to hit them most of the time anyway. You know, like, if you're out of control and if the enemy team's pushing in with, like, quad short range, you need to be able to function in that environment. Most charges fall apart in that setting. And that's why, for example, Power is quite good with charges, is because even though his accuracy I don't think is quite up to snuff yet on Splatoon 2, because he's still getting used to the charger. At least, I haven't seen him play for a while, so I don't know, he might have got good since then. The problem is that you need to be aggressive as well as being able to hit all those shots, so you can't just, like, sit back and do nothing. You have to be in a position where, like, every time you go in, like, you have to be in a position where every time the objective can be pushed, you are right there ready to go. You know, rather than, you know, Moray style, like, E-liter on Plat, just sort of chilling, taking pot shots at people who refuses to move, right? A lot of the time the sniper is the person who should be on tower. And the reason for that isn't just because they are pretty decent tower riders, it's also because if they aren't on the tower, then the team's ability to push is severely restricted. In Splatoon 1, charges had an extra sort of thing in that you had damage up to reduce the kill times. Nice shot, E-liter. That trade's fine because a teammate was there to clean it up. By the way, if you're wondering how trades work in this game, I'm just sort of... I don't think anyone asked, but... like, you'll often hear people say, like, you know, good trade or whatever. What makes a good trade in this game is whether someone is there to, like, keep the position that you just lost by dying. So, a good trade is one where you might die, and the enemy player might die as well. Okay. But, like, because you died and your teammate was there to, like, keep that position, then that makes it a good trade. Whereas if this guy, like, if I trade with this guy, this is a bad trade because, well, I'm not going to trade with him at all because he's running away. But if I traded with him, like, it would have been a bad trade because, like, I would have just given up position, whereas he's, like, dying in his own base, so it's fine. Or at least sort of fine. Okay, that works. Damn. Well, at least get one of them. See, this is the problem. shit, there's two of them. Yeah, this is the problem with having an E-leader on Moray. Like, I know a lot of people say that E-leader is really good on Moray, but it quite simply isn't because this happens. We were in control for almost the entire game, but they only needed to break through once, and now we can't do anything because we have a fucking 3v4 retake. So even though that looks like a big comeback for the green team, that was actually just a fucking ticking time bomb that we didn't assert enough control of the map over to avoid. I don't think Resbit's even playing either. I think if he's on Synergy, I think he's still on Synergy. I think he's playing like other shit and letting Naz play E-leader. Advice for countering Tri-Sloshes? The main thing is that they don't have very much ink. So if they have armor on them, you sort of bait them out. Like, you bait them out with bombs and whatnot and keep them from pushing you too hard. And once their armor's down, you can sort of circle strafe them. If they aren't very good. If they are good enough to, like, actually predict where you're going, then you've kind of got a problem. You have to basically shoot them in the back, which isn't too difficult, but like I was saying before about trades, you need to be in 2v1 situation against the Tri-Slosher to make it so that if they do happen to kill someone, then you get the cleanup kill in return. But the main thing is, if they have fucking glowing eyes, if you see a set of fucking glowing eyes coming toward you, you don't fucking shoot it. You run. Like, you don't fucking take head-on fights against things with armor, because that's literally what armor is designed to allow. If you guys played single player, you know those fucking, those things that run away from you and drop bombs at their feet every time? That's how you should be playing against armor weapons. Like, someone's fucking rushing you with armor, you just like, fuck this, I'm out of here, drop a bomb at your feet and get the fuck out. Is run speed worth using? I mean, it has a marginal effect. The main thing I'd use run speed for, though, is like the L3. Like the weapons where it, like, you know, if you're using it on a 10 attack, I don't think it's going to do too much for you. It'll probably give you like a, I don't know, I just don't feel like run speed does enough to warrant a spot on your kit, at least not now. Like, you need to put too much into bomb defense right now. Also, oh wow, I got a freaking match. But yeah, so what happened in that last game, I want to explain it in a bit more detail, because I think I'm getting a fair few viewers who, like, are sort of new to my stream, haven't heard me talk about Moray E-leaders before. So the problem with the way Moray works is it's a very snowbally map, right? If you start getting an advantage on Moray and you push into the enemy team's base, it takes a long time for them to get it back. So, and the reason for that is because a height advantage in a game where, like, you don't have infinite range on your weapons is not actually a height advantage, it's actually a detriment, if anything. Anyway, so yeah, with Moray, basically what happens is, in mid, the E-lead is quite strong. Obviously, it has really good sightlines and it can shoot things from a mile away. And it's really hard to get past the E-leader without them knowing. However, if the E-leader is ever flanked, or like just goes down for any reason, maybe an inkjet gets him or something, then suddenly the E-leader becomes really, really bad. because when the E-Leader is not in control, it actually can't do anything on this map. Holy shit, I actually got a kill for once. And that's what happened in that last game, was we didn't have any way of dealing with that E-Leader, our base getting invaded, because we had an E-Leader. And so, like, it only needs to happen once, but if it happens once, then the game's over. And that's way too fragile of a team comp in order for it to be at all viable. Oh my gosh, I'm still not timing that right. Okay. I can push back from the bomb. But yeah, so that was the same thing in Splat 1 as well, was the bombs not being able to... Sorry, the E-Leader not being able to do anything once it's pushed back. Okay, and we're out. Okay, no we're not. Because for some reason I didn't heal. That would have been a safe jump, but I'm not going to right now. Oh my gosh. What the? Holy shit. What? Okay. Okay, that works. Positioning with Jet Scorcher. Main thing I'd say is that you need to be aggressive with it. The main advantage that the Jet Scorcher has over, like, the... Oh, wow, that was terrible. Main advantage the Jet Scorcher has over, like, the Splatling and the Snipers and all that is that it can be very mobile. It's not as mobile as, like, a Tenatech or an Imperious or whatever, but it still can move up with the team when you're pushing at very short notice. So that's your main strength. Your main weakness is your slow kill time. However, in, like, the way the game's actually designed, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but, like, the edge of the crosshair with the Jet Scorcher actually gives you a really good indicator of where to aim when you're leading shots against something that's moving. Like, you can go into the firing range and see this. If you aim at the fast-moving test dummy with the edge of your crosshair, you will actually hit it, like, every time. Best abilities on gear. Right now you want to run bomb defense, at least 2 mains worth. So 2 mains being like either 1 main and 3 subs, or 2 mains, or like 6 subs or whatever. Like, you want to if I say like 2 mains, it means either a main or 3 subs. because 3 subs is like 90% of 1 main, but it's close enough that it doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, so with the Jet Scorcher, the pushing up aggressively and like taking aggressive positions that are sort of like, say on main stage, for example, taking the enemy team's bats. So bats is in like, you go up on tower control, for example, you go up sponge and you go onto the like bit that overlooks their spawn. If you go there with a Jet Scorcher and you have someone to back you up, you basically just end the game right there. Obviously, the Jet Scorcher is also quite good at riding the tower, but it's one of those things where, like, because you're so mobile, you can get into those positions really quickly, whereas a Splatling can't do that. And you can also, like, constantly and consistently use your range advantage in those kinds of cases. Shooting from max range, yes. Like, max range leading shots on a fast-moving target, you use like the edge of the crosshair to aim with. And if you're aiming against something that's swimming, which swimming is faster than the fastest test dummy, you use like the very edge of it. You pretend like the edge of the crosshair is like half of an X, and you like aim in the middle of that X. Is Ninja Squid a good ability? It's one of the best at the moment, actually. It's really easy to underestimate because it wasn't that good in Splat 1. The reason it wasn't good in Splat 1 is because there were so many ways that you could get echolocated, which makes Ninja Squid basically useless. But in this game, there's basically nothing, so like, it doesn't matter anymore. Plus, if it does become a problem, you can always run Cold Blooded, it's no longer mutually exclusive. I was convinced I was going to trade, so I just fucking sprayed at that guy and hoped that I could kill him, and it just didn't. Like, I had plenty of time. Holy fuck! Help! Oh yeah, fast short-range motions and also using height advantage against, oh my gosh, against Tri-Sloshes works as well. Because Tri-Sloshes only barely outrange like the 52 go and all that. And if you use a height advantage against them, they can't actually outrange you and you can just hide them. Oh my gosh, this is... Ha! Oh shit. That's bad. I don't know why I focused the right so hard. I really shouldn't. Fuck me, dude. Like, that's what I'm talking about, is like, I just miss like that. Like, obviously, if I'm that fucking shit at shooting straight, then it's not gonna work out. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but... Ah, fuck, I played that last minute bad. I threw at least 3 times that game, and we still got it that close. Holy fuck, that was atrocious. No, it wasn't just that I was missing shots, it was also that I was putting myself in situations where missing shots was a problem. Like, I just fucking jumped at that tri-slosher, I didn't even have a shot on him. All I needed to do was go left, and get out of the base, repaint, and fucking pincer him when he was trying to, like, when he's trying to get out of... get away from my teammates who were also respawning. Instead I fucking chased the kill and died because I jumped down, he was already too far away, and I just fucking got myself killed, and then we couldn't push. Yeah, fuzzied it. That's the other way of putting it. How viable is the Stingray? It's okay. It's mainly for, like, assisting across the map, and you have to use it in a very specific position, so that you can really quickly transfer between targets. If you just use it, like, from mid or whatever, you're gonna have a hard time. Does the T-Tech have an inherent miss rate? Well, I mean, there's human error. It does have a degree of inaccuracy to it, but for the most part, if you're close enough to, like, if you're trying to shark someone, you're close enough that you won't miss, as long as you don't, like, actually put your crosshair in the wrong place. And if you're from a long distance, you won't miss so often that you'll kill, like, that you'll fail to kill. I need to turn around a bit more there. Ah, shit. Thought his armor would wear off or something, but... He took 2 hits with ink armor because ink armor has a delay on it before it breaks. You can still shoot through it just fine if they don't know you're there, but... Wait, respawn punish a T-Tech? What are you doing? I thought he was going to come from the other side. Fucking body block, dude. That was so fucking unfortunate right there. Oh? Is that how it is? He just fucking directs me because he's shooting for the fucking other inkjet on my team and just misses and hits me instead? Is that how we're losing this? Okay, no, we might not lose this actually. Yeah, we got this. Yeah, what Ghostpie is saying is very accurate. I am definitely a lot better at not doing stupid things like that. Like, once I am like, okay, I did a stupid thing, I'm like, okay, well, I can stop doing that stupid thing. Yeah, the baller going in at the end there was really useful, because it meant that we could get in closer to the jet squelcher. In fairness, charges should have disappeared from Splatoon 1 a long time ago, but they sort of didn't because people kept buying into it. The only reason charges are still relevant in Splatoon 1 is because people use charges. Like, if one team uses a charger and the other team uses a charger, then the charges being bad cancel out. If one team uses a charger and the other team doesn't use a charger and knows how to exploit the fact that they don't use a charger, then suddenly the enemy team's charger becomes really, really bad. Road to A+ series? No. That was Triforce who did that, not me. Like, I don't know, I kind of don't want to. And also, like, okay, so I didn't really fully answer that thing before about, like, me getting annoyed at myself for doing a stupid thing. I do generally keep my head in the game, but sometimes I'm, like, frustrated for whatever reason, and, like, I just sort of crack a little bit. And that's sometimes enough for me to do something really stupid like that. We have 0 paint, and they have an ink brush. Okay, we don't actually have 0 paint, we just have 2 weapons that don't paint very well. Nice shot, guy. Now I'm aiming above people. Oh, no! Holy fuck. Charges are fine in zones because you don't need to push up too hard. Like, you only need to take... You only need to, like, retake mid. You don't need to actually push into the enemy team's base with the charger. The main problem with the charger is the other two modes where you have to actually push into the enemy team's base. Chargers just slow you down too much. I jump a lot in 1v1s where I don't really have a turf advantage, because, like, if I try to squid, a lot of the time... Like, swim strafing for me is, like, a tool that I use against people who I have an advantage against, where, like, they're trying to... Where I'm sharking, but they sort of see me, and I'm like, well, I can still fucking easily kill you. And, like, I shoot a couple of times, and then I just duck away before they can, like, really get any turf under my feet. Problem with Rainmaker is that Inkjets do charges jobs better, and like charges being good on Rainmaker is actually not the case, because on Rainmaker, yeah, you only need to hit the Rainmaker like with a charger shot to kill them, and to push, but you can do that with an Inkjet, and you have a much better sort of fallback with the Inkjet, where, like, if you miss, you still, like, jump back and you can sort of shoot them. On top of that, the charger can't push in. Like, yes, it's good for, like, sniping the Rainmaker so it doesn't get into your base, but it's also not good for getting into the enemy team's base, because chargers are very stationary weapons. In my opinion, similar to what top players think, not as such. Like, I think most good players agree that the bomb defense is really strong, but at the same time, like, I also don't think much of, say, the Octobrush. Like, I know a lot of top Westerners think the Octobrush is really good, but I'm like, it's terrible. So, yeah, it's, there are some differences in opinion. And I think that's why people watch me, so, yeah. Alright, let's just chill for a second. We've got an advantage, but I don't want to push it too hard and die. See, like, right there I couldn't really swim strafe because I already had paint on my feet, so... What do I think about the new umbrella? It's quite good. It's gonna take some fine tuning. Like people are gonna need to get used to it, but it is quite good. I also think that like it's a really good kit because Inkstorm spam is obnoxious as hell, but it's also oh shit, I ran out of money tickets. Oops. It's a really good kit because Inkstorm spam is obnoxious. It is incredibly obnoxious. You can run some special charge with that and just like constantly have Inkstorms out. The other thing is like it is very effective in sort of advantageous situations. So like say it's Rainmaker and you're pushing in, there's one guy left and you have a Brella on your team. That Brella can very easily bully the last guy with the shield and make it so that the Rainmaker has a free shot. It's like one of the main problems in Rainmaker is always like, you know, if there's one guy left, where is he? Where is the guy? We need to fucking kill him so he doesn't instantly kill our push. You know, and the Brella helps a lot with that. You do, Creator. That's what I was saying about Power's playstyle, is he actually takes very aggressive and unexpected positions with the Charger, and that's what makes him good. Like, he's constantly on the move and getting up in the enemy team's face. With the Charger, the only way that you get wins is by exerting your dominance of the map as much as you can. So yeah, like, flanking with charges is actually a really good idea. It's just like, you don't like go on super hard flanks or anything, but you do like move up with the team and take like crossfire positions and all that sort of thing. This new leader's failed the first test. Oh, holy shit. Nice. Alright, so he gets a fucking collateral because the fucking Tri-Sloshy just jumps up into the bunker and dies. Nice. How is he not? Okay. Also, we should not be losing this. should have been an easy double, because they were standing there, like in the middle of nowhere. They couldn't avoid what I was doing. And I just missed. Again, with the fucking missing. You're welcome. Umbrella isn't a good painter, it just has sprinkler. I've played against Umbrellas who are quite competent. Does Umbrella protect against the rain? I don't know, actually. It protects against a lot of things. Like a lot of things that you wouldn't expect it to. I think it protects against the Rainmaker explosion. I'm not sure about that, though. Like, I've seen one video that says it does and one video that says it doesn't. Like, it protects against nades and all that, so... I'm expecting probably not, though, yeah. Yeah, the Umbrella is quite effective. You need to... I think it's probably going to be patched at some stage to be a bit more consistent with its long-range damage. Because right now, it is actually possible to get 90 damage on a long-range shot. In fact, I might show you guys after this game. Alright. We have tough in the range, but the blast is going to be really hard for me to deal with. Okay. Nice, we're getting kills. Is that rapid? Okay. I did basically nothing this game. Blinking black? I'm not sure. Wow, my fucking Takaroka hat actually rolled well. It's a shame I've already used my chunks for bomb defense, because I might actually pure that. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that, I'm not gonna keep leveling it. We've also got this, which is swim speed instead. Alright, so yeah, Umbrella. Oh, Splatfest Turf War? Yeah, I guess I can talk about that. Okay, so, normally, 90 damage close up, and you can kinda... The less, like, it seems to do, like, a bunch of 15 damage hitboxes. So that was 45 just then, because it was 15 plus 60. So the thing is, though, if you aim it just right, so it normally does about 40 damage long range, right? So if you aim it just right, sometimes it does that kind of thing, where it just, like, for some reason... Yeah, there you go. Sometimes it just does that, where it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna do 90 damage because I fucking feel like it. I'm not sure why, or how to make it consistent, like, no, 73 right there. 89. So, like, it's sort of, you aim a little bit off-center to do it. But, like, if you can figure out how this works, and master it, then suddenly it becomes really powerful, because doing that kind of damage at that kind of range is strong. Oh, you can't one-shot with it. The most damage it can do is 90. Because the way it works is it shoots like 6 projectiles that each do 15 damage. And if you connect with all of them, which you can very easily at close range, then it's 90. If you connect with most of them, by like being slightly off-center, you can get 75, and then you know, it goes down from there. Seems to be that you sort of aim a little bit up, maybe? I think it might be random, at least somewhat. Also, the annoying thing is, it has fucking delay on how fast the crosshair can move. Which might actually cripple it in the end. Because it's going to be the kind of weapon that you have to be kind of quick with. Sensitivity settings, +5, +5. Also, I think I need to do this, because I noticed... Just need to repair it, because sometimes it'll sort of drift a little bit. Like this. What the fuck? Okay. I was not moving my controller just then. Okay, that's better. Oh, yeah, okay, so, Turf War, or rather Splatfest. So, the way you carry in Splatfest is by acknowledging the fact that you have a team and helping them. And this actually goes for solo queue as well. So, I'm going to explain this in great detail because, like, this is why your teams suck. Alright, so when you're playing with lower level players, the way, like, if you're one of those people who's like, oh, I'm stuck in S because my teammates suck or whatever, the way you win when you are better than your team and the enemy team is by being part of your team. You don't go off in 1v4 because you will lose that. You put yourself in a disadvantageous situation like that, and you remove any advantage that you had as a player helping your team. Right? So you don't go off on hard flanks, you don't go off, like, running through the enemy team and trying to kill them all. You stay with your team, and you make it so that every time your teammate fights someone, they have your support, so you 2v1 with them. And if it's like an even fight, then it's 4v4, but if you're so much of a better player than the rest of the team, then that 4v4 is going to be in your favor because you're a better player. This goes for Splatfest, this goes for solo queue, this goes for Turf War, whatever. The reason, like, the way you play is by going back and forth between your teammates who are pushing forward. You keep an eye on them, and it's like, okay, this guy is about to push in. There's a guy here, I can see there's a guy here, I don't know if my teammate knows that, but he's going to know it soon enough, so I'm going to get into a position where I can kill this guy if my teammate fucks up, right? If your teammate doesn't fuck up, great, you just 2v1'd and now you've got 2 people to paint that part of the map instead of 1. If your teammate does fuck up, then you're there to get the trade, and like I was saying earlier in the stream, the way trades work is if you are in like a 2v1 situation and you have like a 1-for-1 trade, that is still beneficial for you because that leaves you with one person in that area, and the enemy team has no people in that area, so you gain something out of that. So if you're constantly going around making all of your teammates' fights into 2v1s and 2v2s and whatever, where your skill as a player being so much better than everyone else makes it so that you turn all those, like, you get the advantage in all those fights, that's how you win. So, in Splatfest, what I was doing was I was just running Tech. I was running Imperious for a bit, but I was sort of not feeling them. So I was running Tech, and the way I was playing was very simple. It was like I would go off and sort of secure part of the map, and then I would see where my team was. Like, I'd roll out with one of my teammates usually, but sometimes, like, my team would all go to one place or whatever, and I'd be like, okay, well, we need to paint this part of the map, so that's fine. But then, once the fights break out, like, I might take mid-control if the teammate's going off on fucking shifty shitfuck, whatever the fuck that place's name was. No, I'm not scrubbing that. So, people would go off to the side or whatever, and I'd be like, okay, well, I need to go into mid and take control. But then over the course of the game, my team would start going into mid, or they'd start going into the enemy team's slider or anything, or whatever, and I'd use that to my advantage. I'd be like, okay, my team's going over this way. That means that the enemy team's probably going to go over that way at some point as well, and so that means that I need to be in a position where I can help my team take that part of the map. So I might go straight through mid and sort of cut off people who are trying to shoot at my teammates, or I might go with my team and like sit around a corner and let my teammates like draw the enemy team out, and then I'd take out the enemy team for them. Like, that's how how I'd go about it, and like that was how I consistently won. The only games that I really lost were, there was a game where we had a goo tuber who got 200 points, and we only barely lost that one. There was one toward the end where I got like, oh, I think we had like 2 splooshes or something, and they just didn't seem to understand how the sploosh worked. And yeah, so for those who don't know, I did get 5th place with like 25-10 or something in the last Splatfest. Again, not to brag, just saying because like that's how I know it all works. Dude, that is a fucking sick jacket. I am getting rid of... Oh, I can't get rid of that. That's unfortunate. Oh, I can order one of these anytime. So I'm going to order that jacket. I quite like that jacket, and it's full special charge, so that's kind of nice. Actually, I need to find a Ninja Squid special charge, because Ninja Squid is going to be really fucking strong soon. I've got Ninja Squid, Bomb Defense, and Ninja... Oh, hang on, what's that? Ink Force shirt. Maybe that. Maybe that'll be it. Yeah. How would I feel if there were seasons in Ranked? I don't know, it feels as though people don't like the early days of Ranked, especially in Splatoon 2 compared to Splatoon 1, where like it's really hard to gain ranks early on because like all the S pluses are in with the C minuses. Sheebs, the reason I'm like, that is true, like the better players do make those decisions consciously. The thing is though, like it's something that you can, it's sort of a switch that you can flip. You can be like, oh, I didn't realize that that was the way to win, I'm going to go and try that, and then you go and try it and you're like, oh, it works, you know, so. If you order pures, yes, you can get the subs sometimes. It's rare, but it does happen. How can you tell if you're killing people by supporting the team by killing people, I'm assuming you mean? Like, the way it works is if your team is sort of in the area, right? So, say it's like that big open area at the right side of spawn on Shifty Station. Like you would push out into that. Like say you're taking the enemy team's courtyard, let's call it that. So you push out with your teammate, right? And you get a kill in that area, and then if you sort of are able to let your team go from there, like, okay, I know that my team is going to paint this area for me, then it's sort of like you've taken that area really well. And then it's like if there's someone there and like they die, but then you get the kill on the guy who killed them and then you take that area, then it's like, it's all based on whether you gain ground out of a trade situation. So making it so that when your team goes in and dies, like if you're so insistent that it's your team going in and feeding, then make their feeding productive. You know, like let them feed and then bait them. You know, use them to get the enemy team to come out of hiding and shoot them, and then you can fucking come around and shoot the enemy team in the back. It's like, you just keep doing that kind of thing. There's, it's funny because I have been like telling people this for a while now, and it's only recently that I found there's a blog of a Japanese player who, like, he's actually the guy who like gave us the bomb defense numbers and all that, or like he blogged about bomb defense numbers. And it's funny because he has a thing in his blog about like how to, like, he went through like the S's, not the S's, like he went through ranked on a Smurf account, and like he just documented the things that people did to like lose games consistently in each rank. And he was like, okay, in C rank, if you're stuck in C, then you need to learn how the objective works. And if you're stuck in B, then you need to learn how to like push the objective productively. And like, you know, get on the tower, you motherfucker, sort of thing. And then if you're in A rank, you need to understand that your team, like a lot of people in A rank actually do have the movement and shooting skill to be pretty good in S+. But what they don't have is the sort of awareness to support their team and like work with them. And like he actually says specifically, like in response to people who say like that their team keeps feeding or whatever, like you're part of the problem. You can take advantage of that. So, speaking of which, where is our Octobrush? Holy shit. Let's not go that way. It's actually something I still need to learn myself. Oh, he died. I think my default's a little bit low. Will the custom range blaster be good? I mean, maybe. It's more likely that the vanilla range blaster is going to be better anyway, but... You've got to be kidding me. Time. My controller was fucking pointing the wrong direction, so I just missed because my fucking wrists were at a bad angle. That's literally why we lost. I should have just used the sticks, dude. Like, so what happened there was, I turned the controller to, like, shoot the guy, because I was just like, oh, he's right there, I can just do that, instead of using the sticks. And then when he fucking went behind me, like, I just couldn't keep turning the controller, so I couldn't fucking hit him. I mean... Jeremy, you can't really do that. If they shoot you 3 times before you get your inkjet off, then you're dead anyway. Fuck's sake, dude. I think we would have won that if not for that. And that is why you use sticks in this game. To center your aim instead of fucking using the gyro all the time. Yeah, they're probably just bad. Like, yes, you can activate it in midair, but they're probably just bad and missed you. That goes fast. Holy shit. Yeah, so that's what you use the Brella for. Is like, I had only one option there, which was to jump in and shoot the guy, because I was getting fucking rained on, and there was another guy shooting at me. So I jump in, and he's just like, nah, you don't get to do that. And then, like, at some point, he just drops it and... Oops. And everyone's committing Sudoku. I'm bad. Now, the reason I'm playing with Japanese players is because I paid the Splatoon Illuminati, I should say. Oh yeah, we should probably not lose. Seriously? There's a guy on our team who was just fucking jumping up and down at the end there, instead of just painting the zone. Yeah, Inkjet is almost on the level of the Bomb Rush in terms of how fast it is. Dude, fucking Crack-On is the one that rolled with the bomb defense, okay? That's not how, probability... That's not what probability would imply, but, I'm not complaining. And yeah, so... the reason I'm making a big deal about the Japanese thing is because, the simple truth of the matter is that in Japan, there are way more players, there are way more resources to get good at the game. I would honestly say there's probably more of a work ethic involved in getting good. Like, it's more of a thing that people will actually try and be good at games. You know, like, there's sort of a work ethic in practicing and, like, sharing information with people. Like, there's just a generally open, I guess, attitude toward the game in Japan. I'm not trying to weeb out or anything, I'm actually, this is literally the difference. Which results in people generally being better, because they have more access to resources, they know how to get good, they have better players, because, like, even though the bell curve is still sort of centered in the same place, it's like, the bell curve gets shifted because, first of all, there's, like, all those resources, but also because, like, there actually are people at the far end of the bell curve who are really fucking talented and who, like, learn how to be really fucking, like, accurate with sniping and all that sort of thing. So... so yeah, that's, how it all goes. And as a result, Japan is just generally a lot better in solo queue. Like, you don't really tend to see that much in the way of aero sprays and shit. Like, you occasionally see like splooshes and whatnot. But for the most part, it's like, it's tender turks, it's tri-sloshes, it's fire things. Oh shit, actually, it's dapples. And so on. It also extends over the league as well, because, like, because of all that, it's a lot easier for good teams to find matches in league. So, like, the average point score is, like, quite a lot lower in Japan, because, like, in Japan, 1800 means sort of you've got S+, whereas in America, it's like you understand what a zone is, you know? Oh, fuck. I got stuck on the guy. Also, I'm doing fucking nothing this game. I need to start going right. I keep doing it, I'm not sure why. Oh, so that's what your range is. So is the Brella garbage? No, it's quite good. Yeah, I didn't do much that game. I fucked up a lot. Yeah, Brella's hard to use. It's gonna take some time for people to get good with it. But once people do understand it better, I think it's gonna be really common. Especially, like, the other Brellas that are gonna be coming out. There's a couple that, I think there's one that's, like, a faster deployment, and there's one that's, like, a really wide shield. So, look forward to those, because I think they also have some slightly more relevant kits. I think I think the Vanilla Range Blast is going to take the Brella's place as the sort of Inkstorm spammer. Because, like, the Vanilla Range Blaster, for those who don't know, gets Suction Bomb and Inkstorm, which is really, really good for the CRB. For the Range Blaster. I keep saying CRB because I'm just used to, like, it's a Range Blaster, so it's a CRB. But, actually, Custom Range Blaster doesn't seem that good. It kind of works like the Grim, except you have to direct your burst bombs with it. You can't even get a long range AoE, a wide AoE, so yeah, I don't know. What do I think about Japan losing to USA at the Nintendo tourney? I mean, Deadbeat definitely were playing better, but it wasn't helped by the fact that they had a sniper and a dynamo. So they had two Stingrays, which is just bad. They had a Dynamo, which... Dynamon... Oh, it was Dynamon, right? Yeah. Why am I thinking it was Kit Kat? It was Dynamon. Dynamon obviously wasn't used to the thing. Like, he was using it like a Splat 1 Dynamo and expecting it to paint, but it just doesn't paint anymore with a horizontal flick. You can't just, like, flick upwards with it and then paint half the map anymore. So, like, he was kind of being useless, and yeah, Wakaroon wasn't doing very well with the sniper either, so... Okay, I have run out of ink. Dude, what? Holy fuck. I didn't expect him to just stand there, I was expecting him to run away, which is why I jumped and sort of aimed back. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. If you want to play against Japanese players, you can get an Australian player to host. I've been doing that for my team a lot. That was terrible. You would go up there, I just sort of expected to kill him first. Yeah, the sparkle means that you've been winning a lot. It's not a winning streak. It says winning streak in, like, the English translation, but it's not actually a winning streak. I've got a fucking permanent sparkle in Remake, pretty much. Like, it doesn't matter if I lose, like, 3 games in a row, I will still keep the sparkle. So I think it's just, like, if you've been winning enough that you're, maybe you've got, like, a hidden fucking, freshness streak or something. Like, if you've been winning enough that that is, like, really high, then I think that's what makes you have a sparkle. Yeah, it's, I don't think this game was winnable. We had a fucking Slatling and a Heavy, and an E-Leader, so... Yeah, Andres, that's what I was saying earlier. It's like 1800 in Japan is not a walkover. You will get your shit stomped in if you're used to like American League. My Rainmaker Sparkle hasn't gone away since I got it, and I have lost like 3 games in a row a couple of times. I also like then win, 10 in a row, but it's yeah. Also, I feel like that game actually was unwinnable. I sort of zoned out for a bit. The only way we could have possibly won that is if the fucking Splatling somehow got into the enemy team's Overlook, which is like, that's just not happening. Not with an E-Leader on your team, not with a fucking Splat Roller. Like, Splat Roller... No, that was a Krakon, actually, sorry. Krakon isn't bad, like, Splat Roller isn't bad in this game. The rollers in general are actually quite good. But the fact remains that they do not paint anymore. And if your 10 attack is the only thing in the game that can paint and he gets outranged by like 5 things on the enemy team, it's like, yeah, you're fucked. Milkman, if you want to see Deadbeat versus Dynamo now, good luck, because Deadbeat is like fucking, I think Tim left, and I don't know if, I'm not sure if Power's still with them. I think he might be. I think they're recruiting Super Stario, or Punyo Boy, I think his name is now. Punyo, I don't know. I think Will's even left for Synergy as well. Yeah, the roller bouncing is sort of a... It's a bit of a quirk. I don't think it really happens anymore. No, I don't think it's Yurio. I think that's his name, Punyo. Punyo Boy or whatever. He used to be called Super Stario. Oh, they took Killer from CF? Okay. I thought Killer was just ringing for them. Oh my gosh. I didn't mean to fall down! That is so... Heard that. Wait, did that just turn me into a super jump marker? It's funny, because I actually aimed the fucking inkjet with the sticks a lot, and I still get those flicks. No! That was bad. Oh shit. I think we might lose this actually. Maybe not. I have time to build in chat. Nice. Yo! The double! Alright, I'm gonna stay out of this rotation and then I'm gonna hop off, by the way. Ah yes, the old E-leader versus E-leader. Dude, why am I going right again? I keep going right and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing on right. boy. That lack of bomb defense is fucking destroying me right there. If I had bomb defense, I would have survived that. Okay then. Come on. Come on. Paint it. Nah. What ability rolls the best for 10 attack? Bomb defense. 2 mains worth. So either 1 main, 3 subs, or just 2 mains straight up. I know, I kind of feel like part of why I don't like going left, or at least I don't sort of think to do it, is just because when I go left, I'm sort of stuck there, whereas if I go right, I can always retreat back through trench. It's just... oh... I don't know, dude. Oh yeah, so because I'm not actually using a proper build, I'm just using like gear that I can level up quickly. The other stuff that you tend to run on 10 attack is like stealth jump, and occasionally you can use ninja squid as well. What I'd personally recommend is if you're starting to learn the weapon, you stick with ink resistance for a bit, but then once you've sort of got a handle on it and understand how to how not to get stuck in ink, you can drop the ink resistance for like ninja squid stealth jump, and then like keep the swim speed, keep the bomb defense, and then you're pretty much set. I've also been trying sub-saver, so like I only picked sub-saver on this shirt because it was like a 1-star incline shirt, so I could get some bomb defense chunks, but it actually turns out to be pretty effective. So no, jumping is actually really, really powerful. If you can jump safely into a fight, that cuts down on your respawn time far more than any amount of quick respawn possibly can. Like even in the last game's with the last game's quick respawn scaling. I kind of want to check people's ranks after this game. Oh yeah, question before about dealing with rapid blasters. The main advice I give for that would be to be decisive. So the thing with blasters is that if you start running away... Wait, is that... Hello? What is this shirt doing? Really? Really? No, I actually do want to keep it, that's the point. I just liked leveling that up because having the sub-save was nice. Okay, so this guy was S+1, okay. S+41 with an ink brush. S+36. S+48 with an octobrush. S+5. Don't know what he was in zones, but his highest is apparently S+4 and S+7. Okay. So, yeah, those are the people I was playing with just now. The reason I wanted to check is because I saw at the start it was like average 2120. I was like, oh. Alright, so... chunks. Let's see if I have enough. I might, actually. No, I don't quite. I needed 5 more. Sup, Octolin. Unfortunately, you've come in at a bad time because I am about to end the stream. Speaking of which, thanks for watching, everyone. I'm gonna try and get my stream shit happening again. Like, I haven't been streaming the past couple of days because I've been, like, getting shit organized to my team and be organizing shit for the website I'm making and all that sort of stuff, but, yeah, I'll try and stream as much as I can, so... I kind of sound like dude. Well, I'm Australian instead of British, but I guess I have a bit of a posh accent or something, I don't know. Okay, so, we are going to host someone, because I feel like hosting someone. Come on, crap top, don't freeze, okay. Bye, not dude. Alright, here we go. Interesting. Alright. I'm going to send you over to EB Justin. So, EB Justin's a pretty solid player who's a little bit underappreciated, I'd say. He's been doing really well in, like, Coliseum and all that, so... go check him out, say hi for me, and I'll see you guys next time. Wait, what the fuck? I can't host it. Why not? Okay, I'm not going to send you there. I lied. I'll find someone else. Okay, there we go. That'll work.